Okay, now we have with us Huwaida Arraf. There you go, from Detroit, Michigan. Huwaida, it's all yours. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran. Thank you, Brother Usama, Sister Nadia, and to everyone behind USCMO. I think the work that you do is wonderful. There is no higher responsibility as a citizen than to be engaged in civics and in politics because we are the people and we decide. We live in a democracy. We decide who we want to represent us, and we can make things happen when we are engaged. I'm Huwaida Arraf. I'm running for Congress in Michigan's new 10th congressional district. I am the daughter of working class immigrants. My parents came to this country. My mother was 9 months pregnant with me, and I'm the oldest now of 5 children. Now I'm a mom myself of 2 young kids. I have a 7-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. So I know the daily challenges facing working people. There are rising prices. People can't find good jobs that give them the opportunity to have a dignity in their lives, living wages. There's housing insecurity, healthcare that we heard about. My parents came to this country from Palestine. My father from 1948 Palestine, my mother from the West Bank town of Beit Sahur. They came to give me and my siblings a chance at freedom and opportunity. And I am so grateful that my father was able to find a union job with General Motors. He worked a blue collar job so hard. I remember when I was young seeing him come home dripping in sweat, or the days that we didn't see him because he would work double shift, never turning down an opportunity to take on extra work and never taking a day off. Once he had his head sliced in an accident in the factory, he got 16 stitches and went right back to work. And I learned the values of hard work from my parents. And I'm grateful that they were able to provide for us. We didn't have a whole lot growing up, but we had enough. And I think the most important thing that we had is this belief that we had opportunity. When I was young, I believed that the sky was the limit. Like I could be whatever I wanted to be. And I don't see that same opportunity available for our children today. Parents, people in general, are working as hard as ever and they can't make ends meet. I decided to run for Congress because, frankly, I am really tired of seeing the rich get richer while we're told that there isn't enough money to invest in and uplift the rest of us. I'm running because Michigan families here want and deserve good, well paying jobs, quality schools, that our neighborhoods are safe, that we have a resilient infrastructure, that our families are safe. We have too few elected officials that are actually fighting for people. I fought for human rights for most of my life. Shortly after graduating from college, knowing that I had the opportunity that so many people don't have, I looked for how to give back. And I accepted a job at the time working in Jerusalem in occupied Palestine. A few months after I arrived there, the Second Palestinian Intifada broke out. And I was marching with the people in the streets and witnessing unarmed Palestinian demonstrators just marching for their freedom being shot dead in the streets, while the mainstream media and the world's politicians blamed Palestinians for their own death. What I saw moved me to take action, and I ended up co-founding a global human rights organization that to really stand with people fighting for their freedom and against government oppression in Palestine, but also in other countries around the world. That organization, the International Solidarity Movement, actually today marks the 19th anniversary of the death of one of our colleagues, Rachel Corrie. The organization ended up being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, and it is still operating, standing with Palestinian rights today. Years later, I was involved in the efforts to challenge Israel's unlawful blockade on 2 million Palestinians in Gaza that are trapped in a large open air prison by sailing boats. Some of you may have heard of the Mavi Marmara, that we were sailing to Gaza when we were lethally attacked by the Israeli military and lost 10 of our colleagues. Now, fast forward, I'm raising my 2 children in the district in which I was raised here in Macomb County. I was working as a civil rights attorney in Detroit. I did human rights internationally, civil rights here in Michigan. It's all about people's rights and the basics that every person, whether you're in China, Palestine, Mexico, or Detroit, you want a life with dignity. And I see people abused here every single day. It's not the same that I saw in Palestine, but people are being denied. Last month, my family and I, we did a walk for warmth because too many of our neighbors can't even afford to heat their homes in Michigan winters. When you have to ration your medicine, you are not free. When you can't get the medical care that you need, you are being denied your rights. When you have when you don't have clean water to drink, when you send your kids to school in the morning and you don't know if they're going to come home, you are not free. And that is because our policies here in the United States do not center people and they do not center human rights. And frankly, I think it's enough. We need people making policy that care about people. We need to put people at the center of our policies, human rights, civil rights, whether we're talking foreign policy or domestic policy. That is when we're in the right. And that is why I'm running. Now, just a little bit about my district, because I get really passionate. I am in a new district. When I first decided to run, my district was really Republican, but I was taking on that challenge. With Michigan's redistricting, I got drawn into a new district that is 50-50. It could go either way, and there is no sitting incumbent. There are 4 of us in the primary. I am the only woman of color determined to make sure that the growing number of communities of minorities that are in this district also have a voice. And I have a wonderful team of progressives, the support of varied people around me. And we're leading an exciting campaign that really has an opportunity to make a difference in this county that is known as the traditional home of the Reagan Democrats. What we are, when, not if, when I am the primary candidate for the Democratic Party, I will be up against John James, who is a national Republican figure who is funded to the millions, and that campaign won't only be here in Michigan, it will be a national campaign, because I refuse to be silent about the things that I have stood for all of my life. When people ask me about the work that I've done, I say, yes, I stood up and I fought in Palestine with the same passion that I'm going to fight for your rights here at home, because people all over the world deserve the same thing. And I think that needs to be said. For too long, we're quiet, or don't say that, or don't. No, we need to talk about people's rights. Just like we can talk about the rights of the people in Ukraine, we can talk about Palestinian rights. We can talk about Kashmiri rights. We can talk about the rights of the Sahrawis. We can talk about all of it, because everyone deserves human rights. I am happy to stick around and take your questions. I thank you again for this opportunity, and I hope to have your support for this race.
Thank you, Huwaida. Appreciate it. A very compelling story. Yes, people need a fighter. People need someone from their own, feel their own passion, feel their own pain, and to champion their rights. So good luck with that, and we wish you the very best. If you stick with us until the end of the program, we'll be more than happy to open the floor for questions and answer with those who are going to stay with us until the end of the program. We're going to end the session and take the next candidate here. Thank you, Huwaida.
Thank you.